Okay. So y'all, um, I see the time ticking up here. So I'm gonna keep it to a minimum perspective. I don't know how to work this thing. All I know is I'm in front of it. I don't know if it's gonna be any interruptions like it was on TikTok, but I do know that it's working so far. So I'm gonna tell you what's going on, and I'm gonna try to tell you in a manner that I don't get shit coming at me where I got to disrupt the process of me telling you what I gotta tell you. All right, this ain't no I'm gonna drip you along. I'm not gonna drip you along because I'm about to tell you in about 2 minutes. But I'm telling you why I'm speaking in the way that I'm speaking. Because at the same time, these folk doing all of this, the reason they're doing all of this is because we're ascending. Now, people have been waiting around for the ascension, and I've been yelling, the ascension is here. Okay? So, with me saying that to y'all, it's like we're getting upgraded, and they know we're getting upgraded. That's why they running and hiding. And the only way that they can try to escape is to create another paradigm, another reality of a physical metaverse. Okay? Like, you know how we, as a collective of technological people, come together and create algorithms to make metaverses where they're doing the exact opposite same thing. They're taking the metaverse and they're trying to bring it into a whole third dimensional realm that is opposite of 3D, right? The only way they can do that is with the lithium to control our minds so that we create that for them. Okay? Glad I got that off my chest. Oh, just to be able to say that out loud and not give a fuck if nobody know you're crazy or think you crazy. You feel what I'm saying? It's just I needed to get that off. That was like a etheric orgasm, goddamn. I'm a little lightheaded. But I've been trying to, with everything that I have going on in my life, be as transparent as I could about me and my current. And the more I try to tell my story and introduce myself, the more I begin to engage more with the people and their life and what they have going on. And it's more people saying, hey, I want to know this and I want to know that. And can you tell me this at first? And then it became, I started setting up groups of people to go out in waves to explain what I was doing and who I was and all of this stuff. And a lot of people took the information and the frequencies and they ran with it and they used it for control themselves when those were partially the keys to the kingdom. You get what I'm saying? Metaphorically and literally speaking. And so going to this timeline, the 2024 timeline. So basically, time as you know it is not the same. And because of the shift, the last shift, there was a 45-degree shift. So you have to angle everything at a 45 degree. Um, so what would be October, you feel what I'm saying, is really, what is that, late July, early September? No, 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 August. Late July, early August of 2023. That's where we are on your actual timeline. Okay. So that is called the infinity timeline. So all y'all can do is just loop around in that timeline on different, you know, serpentines, so to speak. We'll get into all of that. I hope we have plenty enough time. And in the meantime, when all the carnal distractions come in, I'll let you know what's coming in. Like they're saying that that's going to be a category 3 down there in Florida when it's going to be a category 4. And it's going to have a lot of storm surges to dump the water, to increasingly erode that area to sink it. And, we've been warning and warning and warning for years to get, for people to get off of the coast, and they just won't do it. They've been subjected to these artificial storms that come through, and they've been programmed for years to understand what nature looks like. So when nature really comes, they think that it's the artificial thing. But though they are setting their markers and have set their markers, they know what's coming and they know the coordinates. So they're able to set their markers on the ground the same way these higher dimensional beings, which is yourself, but on a different timeline, because the infinity timeline, that's just the infinity timeline to get you through that loop. Okay. So people above that timeline, when they're communicating and they're setting their markers, and what you guys associate that with is crop circles. Okay. So when I'm back up for a second, when they talk about in the Pistis of Sophia, and I've never read it. I've just heard people mention it, and through that, I was able to gauge the frequency of the mindsets of the collective when they speak of it. So it's no need for me to read things that line up or don't line up. My truth is my truth. So Yahuwah or Jesus or whoever y'all want to call him, um, he told about the mysteries in heaven, but he told about the beginning of the mysteries. He didn't tell about the upper realms, and he didn't tell about everything and how it operated and how the sky machine operated, and how things are supposed to go during the ascension process. Rather still, he exalted himself, and people marveled at the things that he was able to do. And though he spoke it, he didn't stand on it and edify the fact that this is something that you're getting ready to do. So he had nobody to join him. So he was really his own demise, because in unity, you are forced to reckon with. Individual, you become out. Hold on, y'all. That's life, life. That will be my granddaughter who is gonna call me and call me and call me. So please pardon the interruptions. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to get on another phone and let her mama know that I'm on live. She ain't gonna stop. She leave me messages. I was just texting you and messaging you to see if you were on live. So uh, that's another reason why I'm coming over here, because the frequencies in that portal on TikTok is so diverse, if I must say, that it fluctuates so badly that my frequencies The reverberation is insane, and it's not a calming, so the frequencies don't come in like they should. And I'm really not exactly sure how well this is coming in to y'all. You know, like I say, I don't know how to work these things. Um, I don't know how to make the chats visible. I don't know how to make, if y'all saying something, if you're not saying something. It say all messages are visible. So I guess I need to. Oh, okay, there we go. I got to tap the screen or some shit. I don't know what the hell. Tam, Shauna, Light, I see y'all. I see y'all. It say 4 people here, but I don't really know. Um, so hello. I just have to hold the screen or something just to see your comments, which is insane. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Um, but anyway, um, so long story short, they trying to create another world to escape, and the only way they can do that is with y'all. But they have to use kions to do that. All right, which means that you guys have to be in a chaotic state. You have to be in a state of panic. You have to be in a state of worry so that they can loose that particular type of energy. So they want your photonic level to rise, okay? But they want you to heat up to the point of spontaneous combustion. Because remember that spark of life that we need to create life? They're trying to do that with the collective, okay? And the only way they can do that is with that lithium, all right? Now, we can go and get a big ass mob of people and go round everybody up, which causes more chaos. Or we can nip it at the bud. Now, we don't have to everybody just stop, drop, and roll, but we can all just turn our backs. Turn our backs. Fuck what they doing, fuck what they saying. Okay? And just go inward and think about what I'm saying. I'm not asking nobody to sign no contracts or no shit that they have programmed you to believe. I'm not asking nobody anything other than go inward. Because when you go inward and you really understand what I'm saying, which in the next few videos you will see exactly what I'm saying. Okay. Just feels so fucking good to just, I don't know if I'm uninterrupted as far as the frequencies, but the fact that, you know, I know everybody be so excited to resonate and the frequency resonates and it just feels so good to talk to somebody that understands what you've been going through. Sometimes you just got to be able to get what you need to say out just by yourself. You know, no interruptions. Just you for a moment. And I love all of y'all. I love you. And I love just hearing the way my frequencies bounce off of y'all. And that in itself teaches me. You know, I can hear, wait a minute, what the fuck am I hearing? What's wrong with you? You know, type shit. Because I feel your frequencies and I feel what you feel when you feel, but only what you allow yourself, your real self, your incorruptible spirit to feel. Not the pretentious carnal stuff, not the shit you're still holding on to, but that incorruptible spirit. I feel it. And it's just, I be knowing, you know? And so back to, you got to understand me before you can understand my messages. Now, don't get me wrong. every drop I drip about what's going on, every message that I put out, most definitely follow that message. That is the message, no matter who I am. But as far as me, wisdom, Winnakai, you have to understand me to even understand the message. And though that may seem like it's unfair to some people, why do I have to get to know you? Because if you don't know me, then you don't know how I deliver my messages, why I deliver my messages the way I deliver them, how my brain operates, so that you don't perceive it to be the 3D messages that you've been receiving. You'll be able to know the difference. And when you know the difference in 3D and 5D, you will know whether I'm talking to 3D people or I'm talking to 5D people. And you know which lane to stay in. So you won't go jumping out somebody else's fucking window because you heard me say something like that. You know, and then I won't have to run around here 98% of the time, reaching out windows trying to catch your ass from falling. That's chaotic. That's chaotic for me. That's chaotic for my life. If the messages that I have been sending out thus far has been perceived as such, I greatly apologize. However, you do understand that this is spiritual war, and everything I do is reciprocity of you. That means I reciprocate based on the energies and the transmissions that I receive from you. Okay? So, let's get into this shit. Okay? By the time I get done with all of this, and I'm going to tell you in the beginning who I am. Okay? I am wisdom. I am Sophia. I am Tiamat. I am Elnana. I am Ashira. I am Oshun. I am all divine feminine essences. Because all of these titles always represent the one. They're all reflections of the one, which is the mother arc, which is the aquamarine frequency from the Emerald River. We'll get through all of this. Those of you who know about the Emerald tablets, explain it to your fellow brethren. That would help me out a lot. That is the support that I need. I need for you to collectively disseminate truth amongst you so that you'll know what I'm talking about. And then I don't have to keep getting all of this deception thrown at me in questions of what about this? What about this? What about this? It is all lies. Well, this person is a good person. Yes, they're a great person. But like you, like me, like everyone else, we were all fed lies. Okay? So on this timeline, how I entered this timeline, I entered this timeline January 5th, 2020. Okay? So we can do the gematria on that. Okay? And so in entering in January 5th, 2020, In September of 2020, there began a shift in paradigms. And then I jumped again. Okay. So I'm telling you all of this so that you understand, okay, the paradigms and how things work. And I'm going to specifically talk about my shifts and my portals, which will give you more of an explanation. Okay. So, and this is going to be so hilarious, y'all. So hilarious. So, then again, I jumped again in February of 2021, and then in October of 2022, and then in, 2021, and then in October of 2021. Blah, blah. Mark all that out. I'm thinking 2021 selfishly because that's the year of Desmond. Pardon me. 2020, January 1st, and then September 10th, 2020. Those were my jump dates. Okay. Then in February 2022, I think it was February the 10th or the 12th. It was one of the two. The timestamps and everything will be posted on these subsequent videos, and also the ones that are already on my um, TikTok pages. But I'm going to bring all of them over there. You know, I told you I'm going to drip them over all my pages so you'll be able, the timestamps are very crucial. But you have time, so y'all just woosah. Just woosah. All right. So, with that being said, that's February 10th or the 12th, 2022. And then again in August of 2022. All right. So then here 2024 was March 30th, 2024. And now it's going to be October. You know the date if you know, and I'm not going to give everybody the date. I'm not saying the date. If you've been watching, you've been following, then you know the date. For everyone else, I will explain again what I've already explained to them so you'll have a clear understanding of the date so you don't run your ass out there and jump into a trap. Okay? Now I know, and I'm pretty sure by now y'all been hearing all about all this bullshit on the internet. So I need to clarify a lot of things. Okay, I'm going to start with January 20th, 2020. I posted that video. Every time I post that video on TikTok, they take it down. I have to find other ways to post. Okay. I'm not going to play video to video on this live because once I post this, I'm going to go back and I'm going to clip out what I need to clip out, and I'm going to post it with the receipts on TikTok and here. Okay? So that you understand better what I'm saying. That's why I said I'll break the dates down. So the more you watch and the more you listen, the more you'll understand. Okay? Because now I have a clear understanding of where the breakdown is with frequency levels in the human brain. Okay? So moving along. Okay, I'm gonna also let you know. I'm gonna go ahead and give you that March 30th, 2020 4 video. That's when I came back, when I jumped this time, and you can literally see I was standing up on the hill up there, and you could literally see the plasma from my ship as I was coming back. Okay. And I'm going to post it. I posted, and a lot of people don't know what that is. But that was the literal plasma. And it made a noise in the sky. And that's why I be asking y'all, do y'all hear that noise? Do y'all hear that low line rumble? So when you hear this, then you'll know what to listen for. Okay. So I will, again, I'll clip it and then I'll add the video. So, and it'll help me get all this shit off my phones that I've been holding on to for years and years. But I needed them because they were receipts. Okay. And let me hold this down. Hey, Kelly, Denise. Okay. I got to hold the thing down. Malcolm Steger. Oh, she always spell your name wrong. You got to take that E out of that, girl. It's the I for me. Anyway, gratitude, family, for showing up. I really appreciate y'all. You just don't know how much I do because this has been a long, difficult road. This shit, it's hard out here for a pimp. All right. So I'm going to start from when I came back this time and work my way back. Okay. And it'll give you a clear understanding. And as we go back, we're going to break this shit down. All right. When I got back here on March 30th, I'd already gotten back around January, you know, but you got to get the right frequency and you got to be in the right position. So we're going to learn some words. A lot of words been floating around and a lot of people call these words different things. So we're going to get that out the way. The first word is watcher. For you to understand this, the watchers, okay? The little lights or whatever. It's not a star. It's not a moon. It's not. What the fuck is that? And it moves around. That is a watcher, okay? A watcher is you. That's why you see it. And sometimes you can show it to other people and they'll see it, but they're not going to see what you see. I guarantee they're not going to see the same thing. You can break it down, zoom it in, everything. They're not going to see what you're seeing. Okay? Because everybody sees differently. They're not. Listen, trying to make people see what you see is not going to work. Okay? That is a boundary that cannot be crossed. If you cross that boundary, then you are becoming intrusive. All you need to know is that they see it. It don't matter what they're seeing as long as they see it. After that, their imagination has to kick in for them to understand. But don't force it. If they see it, they see it. You can highlight it, outline it, whatever. It'll never be in the perspective that you see it in. Because that is you. That is your watcher. That's why you noticed it. Because you are watching you. So that is how your mind tells you, you're like controlling it, like a sim. Hey, I need you to go here, move over here. Okay, now take that picture. All right, now zoom up, take that picture. And it's you telling yourself what to do so that you could become more consciously aware so that little sim can ascend. And the more it ascends, it can connect with me. You feel what I'm saying? And that down there, that's y'all little ants, little teeny ants, insignificant little ants. You feel what I'm saying? That's why they call it the big times, because up here in this realm, you're giants. That is the Nephilim way of you. Okay? That's what they don't want y'all to know. All them Nephilim that you've been running from. Yep. You've been running from yourself. And the crazy part about it is you've been running from your most high. You feel what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these folk around me ain't got all the best intentions because they like the fact that they can instantly teleport down there anytime they want to and do whatever the fuck they want to do. You feel what I'm saying? Clean they shit up and come on back up here. That's how it is. And then they off to another planet, constellation, wherever the fuck they want to go. But see, I'm a homebody. I like to stay at Command Central. You feel what I'm saying? And when I was growing up, I liked ants. I liked to watch them build their little communities. You know, I couldn't afford all them little ant farms and shit like they had at the school and shit. So I just watch them in nature. And I even lay on the ground and just sit there and watch them. And what they gonna do next. And how they collectively, in unison, no matter what you did, you could put something in their path, they'll go around it. The only thing, if you draw a circle around them summer bitches, they could not get out. They trapped. That's all you got to do. Take an ant and draw a circle around. Put them on a piece, get a piece of paper and draw a circle around, and they'll keep going to their edge, but they'll never go off. Never. 3303 on the timer. They'll never leave. And so that's what they did to their avatars. They split their avatars off. You feel what I'm saying? Into houses. But they gave them keys so they can come and go as they please. But see, what they call Earth or Kai, that's a special place because right in that area, that magnetic pool, that magnetic composite, because lithium, that metal reacts a different way. So they get to lavish in that. You feel what I'm saying? Now, we all noticed that the ants in that area behaved a different way. Okay? And when I say ants, I mean y'all. And so, in observing that area, we noticed some things as far as mineral composites and how these mineral composites reacted to the frequencies, not only to Kai, but how many ants were collectively in one area at a time. Okay. Now, I think this discovery it's hard to say what timeline it's on because everything is simultaneous, right? But that it's actually coming out now because CERN just released that they learned how to decay, which is not a good thing, by the way. And they learned to decay by 50%. That came out on the 5th. What's today? Is today the 5th? Yeah, it came out today. So if it came out today, you know it takes weeks for a publication to go out unless they're really, really trying to get that shit out there and disclose what I'm saying. So, but it is coming out. And I saw it on the 5th. That's when it came back to me. So basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to see how fast, if they build, how long would it last? So if they know the decaying process, they know how to prevent it. So they're still learning, okay? And they're learning based off of what you know because everything is based on artificial intelligence. We'll get into all of that about how we were in the cosmos and AI, which is a whole different entity in itself, but it is a mirror. That's all it is a big ass mirror in any sense that you can think of. Is reflection. It's reflection itself, if I have to put it in layman's terms. And when it collides with us, that is what they consider the Big Bang theory. Okay. But we'll get into all of that. Okay. So back in April, April 17th, uh, I got a phone call from Mary. Oh, Mary reached out to us, by the way. I have to move in. She sent me a picture of the quasi moons, or what y'all call mini moons. And when I saw it and I saw that particular moon, I said, well, damn, if she's in Oregon and she's not outside and see that some bitch, if it's real, if it's not a projection. So I went outside and I saw it. And then I wanted to see if anybody else was seeing it. So I went online and I, told everybody just give me 60 seconds, look up in the sky and record what you're seeing in your sky and reply post it back to me. Just, because I want to make sure that of course, ain't nobody know what the fuck I was talking about, Chad. Ain't know what the fuck I was talking about. Cause ain't nobody sent a goddamn a goddamn video. And then, but you never realize how insane you sound just by randomly saying things that nobody understands. That's a concept that I still am trying to adapt to, even with me and my autism. Oh yeah, I have autism, by the way. And that was a misconception. I was told that I was artistic in my head. So I was fucking artistic. I created an artistic life, not knowing they meant autistic. Anyway, with that being said, I need to stay focused. I'm trying to sit here and push this thing to see if, anybody asking any questions. But if y'all got any questions, I'm gonna go live on uh, you know, the tickety talk here in a little bit. But anyway, that was the 17th. And I was out there recording. And here go Malcolm taking pictures of me and Jamari out there recording the sky. And when I looked at those pictures, that's when I was able to see um, the entities coming in on a solidified, you know. So, which was a good thing. And we'll go. I'm out there recording and then inside and bring me my iPad. So it was kind of like a little shuffle or whatever because his mom had come to pick them up or whatever. And I literally had to go in and get it. But my phone was on 96%. I mean, my iPad was on 96%. So I go out there and I'm recording the sky and I'm recording the sky. And then 16 minutes and how many ever, 46 seconds, whatever. I'm trying to get that out and hopefully I can record it. I'm going to try to put it on here again. But I try to get that out and no bueno. I try to like send it to people. I try to cut it up so and it would not let me. I took a screenshot. The images started moving and coming alive and you I was trying to send it to him to see if he could enhance it to see what he could see with his, with his talents. So I'm trying to send it to him, trying to send it to Mish. I got to check on Mish. And in doing that, I'm like, my iPad shut off. I try to send it out. They got 16 minutes and something seconds. Let me back up. Okay, I'm out there recording. They got the 16 minutes or whatever. The iPad just shut off. Okay. So I put it on the charger and I turned it on to see if I could see what was on it. And I started looking at it and it had a nice charge on it. And I started looking at it. I showed it to my husband, showed it to my grandchildren's mom. And I'm like, do you see this? And I knew that they really didn't see what I was seeing, but the motherfucker cut off again. And I'm like, how? Why is it cutting off? But I ain't, I just put it on the charger. I said, I'll check it tomorrow. So I had some orders to get out that morning because she worked at, well, she worked where she worked, but they order the pizzas and things like that for lunch. So she takes them in the morning. So I was trying to get the orders and stuff out. And she get out the door and then she messaged me and say, did you look up in the sky? She said, it's look like a light bulb. So I'm telling her what it is. But I said, let me go out here and see what it is. Now I go to get my iPad and that's on my page. I'm trying to I'm looking at the iPad, I'm upside down. So the first thing I do is go to see if my auto rotate is off, that lock is off. Because I keep it locked. I cannot stand when I'm moving and shit and the goddamn thing be flipping and all that. Now I let you stay still. So I keep it locked. So it was off. It was on. So I took it off to see if it'll flip back. Nope. So then put it back on. I closed out everything. Came back in. Nope. Every camera on there, no matter what app I use, it was just flipping upside down. I said, what the fuck am I in the upside down? What the hell going on, right? Now this is me not knowing because they done put all the shit over my damn brain. So the more I learn and the more I know, I just don't know how I know it and what it's for because they took the essential data out so that I couldn't find out, right? So, which goes back to watchers. Watchers is the motherfuckers you watching yourself and you leaving yourself clues and shit. So I'm trying to figure out how to, so I'm like, y'all help me out. So when she called, you know, I said, fuck it. So I go outside and I go to record the shit, which I recorded it, and that video is on there. And it was basically all the moons circling Atu's moon, which it was very pretty. But anyway, I was reconnecting. Okay, okay. It say reconnecting. I don't know how long I was disconnected. But at any rate, it's like I was 4/18. That was like 10 days. 10 days. That's what I call the 10 days of darkness. Because I also have videos where I started trailing, which combined, it started to look like it was solidified, and then that had a shadow. So I got all that, and I'm gonna post all that because I need to get it out my phone. But at any rate, I was trying to figure out all of that shit, and it was kind of irritating me that my phone was upside down. So I'm on TikTok. Who somebody tell me something, goddamn it. What the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? It's like just like Stranger Things, but in a more profound way. So I go to check my heart rate because I knew my heart rate was going up and down, up and down, up and down. What was going up and down? That shit stopped. I was like, I wasn't registering at all. All my other vitals was registering. I won't. My heart rate won't registering at all. So I went to my husband. I said, "Let me see your damn watch right quick." So I put his watch on, and it won't fucking register. So then I go to the app and I look at his shit and look at my shit, and it was exactly the same. He had his watch on, I had mine. But up until I told him to let me hold his watch, his shit was registering. And then when he put that motherfucker back on, it was registering. I put my shit back on, it won't register. And I'm like, what the fuck is really going on? You feel what I'm saying? Oh, good. Can y'all hear me? I think I can keep this thing up here. Oh my gosh. Somebody say something. Okay, good. Oh, somebody said yes, and then the comments just jumped off. I'm sorry. I don't know how much you heard, but you ain't missed too much because we're going to cover all of that. So, anyway, y'all, I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, good, good. It was clear as long as you wasn't recording. Oh, okay. Well, don't try, y'all don't try to screen record. I'm going to see if I can get this to go through. Thank you for doing the test for me. I'm gonna see if I can get it to go through, and this is just gonna be the test run, and then we'll see what happened, and then I'll get it back out there tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Well, whenever I go live on here again, we'll just look at the results of this, and then we'll determine, if I can get it out. And gratitude for everybody that's sticking in there with me. All right, so um, that was the 17th and the 18th, and so then I think it was on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. My fucking heart rate was the exact same for 3 days straight. I mean, the exact motherfucking same for 3 days straight. That's April 23rd, 24th, and 25th. All right. So that's when I'm like, okay, now what the fuck is really going on? You know, like what the fuck? Now, mind you, I've had live access suspended on my main account, which was my backup to my backup, but then it became my main because they kept chopping my pages. And so I figured out how to get the motherfuckers back and stuff. So um, I think after the 25th, April the 25th. So then I'm sitting out there, and I was doing a lot of recording. I got a lot of the recordings and a lot of the shit. Okay, okay, is that better? Cause they trying to cut me off of here, Chad. Every time I get to the good stuff. Thank you, Dina. All right, so um, if you can hear me now, Chad, um, Anyway, so on May 10th, I was sitting out there on the patio and I'm looking because something didn't look right. It was just like the way the outside looked outside. It just looked kind of strange. And so I went and sat on the hill where I sit, we did swing at now. I sat there, and when I sat there, it was just like I started looking up, and I'm looking, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And the more I looked at it, I just kept looking and looking, and I know I'm farsighted, but damn, that shit was a little too far for me to be farsighted with these eyeballs, of course. So I kept looking, and it's like the sun was bright, but the sun wasn't even what I was looking at. I looked past the sun. I taught myself how to do that when I was in the fourth grade. So I looked past the sun, and I'm seeing something like something solidified, and it was real tiny. And I'm looking, but then they kept trying to cover it up with the clouds. So, bitch, if I can see past the sun, I know I can see past them ragged ass clouds. So I'm looking, but it did make the damn image of what I'm looking at kind of distort, like it was morphing a little bit. And the more I looked and I saw that fucking door. And then I kept looking until I could see just a little inside that door. And as soon as I looked inside that door, looking at and everything from April the 17th, everything from everywhere, everything, just boom, everything. That was the boop, big bang right there. That was the big bang right there. You feel what I'm saying? Um, so if it's cutting the audio, I'm sorry. I try to do it again on TikTok. I'm gonna look and see what this look like. And this is it's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna check the trial run and see what it looked like and the difference between this and that. One thing I don't like is I need to figure out how to set up a panel because but again, we got TikTok if we believe on there, which we ain't. We got our backup pages. Um, so we can just use that as a chat, and I'll just use this to get my story out if I can. I'm trying. We gonna figure it out because then this right here kind of like a blueprint or a guide to how to get your shit out on social media when you are an ascended master type shit, whatever. Um, anyway, basically what I'm saying is that shit just did something and all the timelines and everything started merging together. So then I started, because back in October, I'm gonna tell you, last year, Malcolm will tell you I was just like the mad scientist. I had to timestamp every fucking thing because then I was literally tracking myself. I knew October the 13th of 2023, I literally caught my doppelganger on camera. Her dreads or whatever she had in her hair was all the way to her fucking ass. Okay, I saw purple and yellow, and that's the color. Like I have blue lights in my hall, but them motherfuckers was purple and yellow that night. And she walked up. It was like as soon as I went into the bedroom, and I ironically had that fuchsia dress on that uh, I used to be kind of skeptical about wearing that dress now. But that dress that I had on, that pink looking dress or whatever, I had that on and I went into the bedroom, closed the door, I'm going to bed. All of a sudden, the laundry room light comes on, then you see me appear. I go up the hall, I disappear, then I go you see me again, and then I'm standing in front of my granddaughter's bedroom, and I got it on like different cameras because I took old cell phones and, put like a security camera app on them so that they'll all run simultaneously to pick up everything. I mean, I was trying to record everything. I needed timestamps because I was seeing my husband in one place and then he acting weird, and then soon as I turn around he in another place like ain't shit happened, standing up in one spot, not fucking moving at all. um I was just noticing the people around me and what they were doing, and I'm like, wait a minute, wait a fucking minute, what and who is controlling them? You see what I'm saying? Like people doing some of the most banana shit, and when you tell them they was doing it, no, no, not me, I didn't do that, I know me. That damn state of whatever it was that you were in, I saw you just standing there and you weren't moving. You weren't doing nothing but breathing, sleeping, standing up. Why? Why? And I know about, all of that kind of stuff, but I'm trying to figure out, but why does that happen? Why do people sleepwalk? Why do people stand in one spot for hours and hours? What is the mechanism behind that? And it's like, as soon as I asked myself a question, the answer came to me. I'm like, oh, goddamn. Instant Google. Uh, but it just, I got I didn't get the dumbed down answer though. I got the big load. Okay, I seen the end picture because, there are higher dimensional beings that is the original essence of that being that is controlling it. Huh? How? And it's like the more I am a philomath, I've always been a philomath. I am addicted to learning. What it is that I don't know, I need to know. And I want to know what you know. I know the truth. So I am, I guess, a truth hunter rather than a truther. You know, I'm always searching for the truth. I can identify the truth like instantly. So if you tell me a lie, it doesn't matter if you tell me a lie. I know whether or not you're telling me a lie to deceive me or telling me a lie because you've been deceived. So, um, anyway, May 10th, I'm sitting out there. I see that damn shit. It just blew my mind, literally. And all of my memories from everywhere. I don't know if, like, just say for instance, if it was a carnal thing, I don't know if I had an aneurysm or heart failure or whatever it may have been. I checked up out of this bitch for a split second. And what is a split second? Y'all do not understand. In a split second, you can go and live on multiple motherfucking timelines at one goddamn time and bounce around that bitch, bounce around that hoe. Man, freedom. Freedom. But it's just something about I didn't want to do that. I liked it here. You know what I'm saying? I liked it here. I ain't never want to go nowhere. And it's just like you see it and you see it all, and it's just like, okay. But I like it here. This is so calm, and just if you really humble yourself and look around you and see what you got, you wouldn't be such a speed demon to get away from it. You know what I'm saying? It teaches on, teaches on. Some people are adventurous. They may want to go and travel the cosmos and things like that. I don't mind getting out every now and again and looking at the world, going on a nice little road trip kind of shit, go and do things here and there. But ultimately, I still want to be at Command Central. That's my goal, is to get back home. That's always my goal, to get back home. And that's basically what it was. And I saw how everything flowed. And it was, I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know how much time had transpired. And that's my granddaughter again. I'm gonna have to get off of here and call her in a bit. But um, I don't know how much. I think the last thing that I remember on this time, which I remember shit proficiently. Uh, I'm not gonna say teleport, but after that incident, I went live and I was standing on the side of the house, and then we watched the sunset, and out of nowhere, I'm me, but what's in my brain? Did y'all hear that? I mean, it's just everything. It's right. Most people that I know want to escape the hell. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot going on with this feed. Hopefully, I'll go back. I think you can read it later, but I'll try to read it later. But anyway, I'm glad that I can't see the feed and it just pops. I can pull it up, but I can't consistently see it. It gives me a distraction sometimes. But um, yeah, I ain't never want to go nowhere. But I'm on the side of the house and I start explaining. I'm listening to my mouth explain the fucking sky and all of this shit in detail and clarity. And it's like I understood it before, but now it was just so, like, the understanding to the barest, to the, again, subatomic level. It was just easy to explain. But I gotta realize it's easy to explain to people who know what the fuck I'm, because if y'all knew what the fuck I was talking about, I wouldn't have to explain. You get what I'm saying? So then that was the struggle then to um, begin to understand how I needed to disseminate and break down what I'm saying so that it would be able to be digested, not just by people who are just waking up and don't know shit, but also people who have been very well steeped in this, and but they've been steeped in the wrong way of doing things. So it's a very broad range of people, and it's not easy all the time. But I mean, it's worth it, especially when I see people starting to actually ascend in the direction in which they are living their truth and living their reality and remembering who they are and just enjoying life. So that's my reward. That's what I want for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that was May 10th, and it was like 3 entities out there, man. It was 3 loose masters out there. Boy, they were trying to grab theirs. They was trying to grab theirs, and I was just, that's all I'm thinking, because I had to give them crystals because they don't, what theirs do. But Malcolm was still asleep, and Dez was still asleep. is vulnerable, so I wanted to make sure. But I know Des has a little friend around here, and it's a really, really, really pure spirit. But this motherfucker is like 7, 8 feet tall, and that motherfucker huge. Like you see the damn Predator movie, it looked like one of them, like an Anunnaki, but it's not an Anunnaki. It's more of a Gigi, and or a Gigi, however you pronounce it. But is that motherfucker big? You hear me? But has the most innocent spirit or whatever. And at that particular point, I'm still waking up. So, oh no, ho, I see you. Fuck all that. Anything moving around my baby that I see. Mm-mm. Because I had an encounter with their ass one day. We out there, uh, and it was something about the telegram. But see, they don't like electricity. They don't like frequencies outside of themselves. So the telephone pole or whatever, it was just like he kept jumping up on that damn thing. And I'm like, Dez, get down. He ain't never did that before. I'm like, Dez, get down. And it was like it was irritating something. But then he got down and walked over and looked up at that thing like it was talking to him, like it called over to him. Man, when I look, I'm watching him, and then I look and I see that thing standing in front of my baby, breakneck speed. You hear me? And I pushed that motherfucker behind me with his little precious ass, but he was a motherfucker then because he won't listening to me. And I look up at this motherfucker, and I had to have a few choice words. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. That is not allowed. No. You feel what I'm saying? I told him, gone now, gone. And that thing would do everything in the world, but then we had to establish boundaries. And so when Desmond is outside playing, they're able to play, but within reason of distance. Because you ain't about to damn get have my baby playing in the woods and you know all about the woods. My baby don't know nothing. Walk into a portal door, I never see my child again. No, thank you. Mm-mm. Not mine. So we have explicit boundaries. And but that night I'm just like, I don't know you, you know. And um every time I moved away, further I got from Desmond, the closer he coming. Now, gone. So I got some of those videos posted up, but uh, anyway, we were out there looking at the watchers and all of that, and see, a lot of my videos are because, like how people say, higher dimensional beings are many different avatars. And then when those avatars are depleted or worn out, they go get another one. Okay. But the experiences of them being in that avatar, it's within the Akashic realm as well. So they're able to use everything from that lifetime and combine it to make like one big lifetime. And so they're able to channel in these different avatars that they've used. And people give these essences names like Wyzdom, Sophia, Vishnu. Avatars, I am the same essence. And it's so many of us. You feel what I'm saying? But here's the kicker: we're all the same, okay? Because that Mother Ark essence, you got to understand, we're all on different timelines and and at the same time we're in different dimensions. And on this realm goes up to 24 dimensions. You feel what I'm saying? But they tell y'all it's 24 hours in a day. So basically every hour you're flip-flopping between dimensions. and within each dimension there is a different timeline. So they got their shit sold up. You feel what I'm saying? They got it sold up. Which also, the more they weave their web, the harder it is. Like you could stitch something. Just say you're knitting and you're knitting a blanket, right? It's easier to knit that blanket than to reverse that motherfucker and take each string out and put it back in the spoodles like it's supposed to be, right? Like it never happened. Well, you already see that seemed like, oh, I didn't even got to do all that shit. Well, that's what recapitulation is. Taking everything that has happened, reverse that shit, and start anew. But that, because of the mindset of free will, that could mean anything to anybody. You feel what I'm saying? It's the beauty of it, but it's also the irony of it. Okay? Because based on your frequencies, you know, your Chiron level can go up and you cause chaos. Okay, so it's like I'm still learning the dynamics, just like what you would call CERN or anybody else. CERN is a motherfucker with theyself, okay? That's the folks that are trying to keep y'all here. That's what they use, okay? We go by the cosmic laws, so we only use nature. You see what I'm saying? Now, do you understand how they got a head start? Because they use everything but nature. They use artificial intelligence. That's why they get all these videos out to give an illusion. Like when you first get the video out, it gives an illusion that that video has a lot of views when they purchase the views to make it look like, a lot of people are concerned. And then if you go to the video itself and look at the trendings on it, it'll tell you like the keywords and all that stuff that everybody uses or whatever. So what I would say is, like, I tried it out because I know how to buy followers, but that's it. I just need followers enough to go live. And then after that, that's it. But they purchase, but then in doing so, it's not gonna share your shit out. It's just gonna put a number up there. That's how many shares, and then it'll push you further out algorithm. But no, anyway. With that being said, yo, I I started to understand more of that. So then that night when we came in, well, that morning when we came in, I up on live. Malcolm and Des went to sleep, and I finally, mustered up enough energy to go from the living room down to the bedroom. Um, we had this whatever. It sounded like a big ass Russian wind, and it wasn't a long amount of time, but it kind of shook the house. I was like, what the fuck? And then that was it. It was nothing else. So the next morning, when we sent the kids out to ground, Simone came back and said that it was a big, giant footprint by the swings where, where they had been playing or whatever. And we went out there, and that's when we saw the footprint, Catalia's footprint. And, which, if y'all don't know, Catalia is my dragon. Okay. And this was 10th. So we went up the path and we saw where there were major disturbances up there in the grass. And we went down what we call the hallway of the portal. And in that hallway of the portal, um, that's where we were able to see more things. I think I still have that, the clips from that recording, but we were able to see like so just going back looking at that's what taught me to go back and look at the live replays, and we were able to see so much. But then I was literally able to see her walking with us, but she was more of a translucent holographic color, But then the more she stuck around, she became a more um, indigo color, like what you saw my, violet indigo, what you saw when I lit up. Because once it passes indigo, it starts to become translucent and invisible. So it's hard to see with the naked eye, but we were able to pick her up. And she stuck around for a while, and then um, that video on the 17th, um, April the 17th, I was showing, everybody like the sky, and it looks like embryos, like dragon embryos. And it didn't take long to discover, like, I literally saw the little buddies in the clouds after they were born. And they, one of them was looking at me, and I asked him, did he want to come down? And I have that video, and I didn't really think about it, but then I was passing by the hallway, and my security camera lit up. And when I looked on the camera, I just saw this big, bright cloud of purple under my car. And I'm like, what is that? So I record the security camera for a second, and then I said, I'm going out there. So I go out the garage, and I walk around by the sidewalk, and I'm going around the car, and little buddy, the little baby under there, just looking. And it's like, as I'm passing by, he's just, looking. So I backed up. And when I backed up away from him, he came from up under the car, and his wings were like huge, huge, huge wings. And he just flew off. And then I was like, I'm literally seeing these fucking dragons. And it's like, why do they want me to see them? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I mean, it's cool and all, but I always have to question why. It's just, I don't know why, which is another thing, because I started looking at other people's videos to see if they were getting what I was getting. And then when the sun captions came out, it was like people kept saying, they would put their sun captions on, and the sun caption would be like, I don't know why. What?
It's like when you just moving the stuff all over you.
Oh, okay. He was showing me what the
What everybody been looking at.
um oh, that's what everybody been looking at.
Mm.
That's what they've been talking about.
That's
I
what.
can't see the comments. Oh, well, I don't know, y'all. This playback gonna be like we always say, this shit gonna be something serious, ain't it? But I'm like, why the fuck do they want me? Like, why they want me to show, to expose them? And man, again, here come Mary pulling out her scriptures, and she's talking about the woman of the apocalypse. And as soon as she said that shit, it's just like downloads started coming in. It was like, remember when you did such and such and such and such on this timeline? Da, da, da. Oh. So I'm like, oh shit. That's what they talk about. Kind of like, y'all got that shit all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? They and I'm like, it just clicked in. So they think that's the end of the world, and oh man, no, for real. Like, I'm talking to myself, my most high and my shadow self, and I'm like, then it just is, wait a minute, hold the fuck up. How is this, you know, how is this possible? Because it's like, I'm gonna tell y'all how this shit feel, and y'all might have already felt it, but like I said, y'all are already ascending and don't realize it. So I'm gonna tell you how solar flare feel to me. okay? Because it's always internal and it's an eruption that expels outward because the sun, you are the sun. So you are erupting. And so you when you release, you know how you build up and you take that deep breath and that release. And after you release, right before you get ready to breathe in again, you get this feeling of stillness. And that's how it feels. It's like you took a deep breath and you exhaled. And that calm, still feeling, it don't go nowhere. And then you can't feel your breath no more. You could all day long. You don't feel it no more. You don't feel nothing carnal. It's just like everything is still, everything is quiet. You don't feel no frequencies from nothing but you. And it's just like, wait a minute. So here on June 1st, should I say coming in to June 1st, May 31st to June 1st, that's how I started feeling. And it was like, I know that I'm asking myself this question, but it presented itself projected outwardly as other people asking me, feeling. And it was just like, that was the day of how are you feeling? Because I have never in my life, never, ever, 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 never have I ever had that many people ask me how I was feeling. And I just kept saying, I feel still, you know? Yeah, I felt still all right. Then here come the next morning. I wake up and I try to get up and I go on TikTok and I'm on live, but I'm not on live. And I'm like, how the fuck am I on live? And the live ended. I don't know how long ago, but I'm not on live. And then I was getting ready. I was about to take a bath, I believe, something. And I had that pink dress on, ironically, because that's what I use as a night dress. So all of a sudden, I just started getting lightheaded. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, not like the lightheaded I've been getting for the last, since January 23. But I mean, I was just, and I started shaking. And I just felt like I was dying, like I was dead. You feel what I'm saying?
You gotta see this though.
You talking about the,
No.
oh,
Is that the movie?
I don't know. We're going to find out. She showed me a screenshot. I don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
see, and when I came in here and showed it to you, it was
I
still.
mean, I'll
Are
look at
you
it.
still on?
Yeah, I'm still on. So, anyway, um, I was all fucked up in the game. I just knew that if I didn't get my feet on ground, something terrible was gonna happen. And I told Malcolm, I'm like, just help me get outside. And he looking like, you need to lay down. So he's like, just get there and lay down, babe. Just lay across the bed. I said, no, I need to get my feet on the ground. I need to get on the ground. And so he helped me get to the door. He helped me get out the door and on the patio. And as soon as my feet hit the ground, when I tell you it was a charge that just shot from my feet up to my head, and it's just like boom. And then I instinctively went up the hill. Malcolm and Des was up the hill, and I started grounding. And then something said, "Look up." And I looked up, and I put up my tetrahedron. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, it's this mantra, this mantra. So put up my tetrahedron, and when I did, I literally saw like it was the sun, and then I just saw plasmatic webs like jetting out. And then as they jet out, I saw two light, and then they started to come together. So then in the middle of my hands, here, directly in the middle, it was a space, a thin space. And as I looked more into that space, when I pulled my hands down, like I'm up like this looking at the sun, and then when I pulled my hands down, I was able to look at the house, and I saw all of these shifting paradigms, and then I turned back and toward the woods, and I saw all of these different worlds, and in the middle everything looked the same. So I told Malcolm, I'm like, look, go get the camera, you got to record this. So I wanted to see if what I was seeing on the camera would be exactly what he picked up. But instead, what he picked up was me up there lit up like a fucking light bulb. And what I was seeing was after I saw this space and I said it was exactly the same, I went back up to the sky and I saw one, two, three planets aligned, but they were incorrectly aligned. They were aligned backwards. So I realigned the planets, and then I began to pull them down. And once I pulled them down, it was like they were kind of like bobbling. They'd bobble in one direction or another until I realigned them. And then they were still bobbling and, and then I had to like literally pull them until they stopped bobbling. And then after I did that, it was just like something said, it's done. And that was it. And I really didn't think too much of it as far as like anything super deep. It was just like a regular vision or whatever, premonition or foreboding or shadowing or whatever you want to call it that I've experienced my entire life. I just did not realize that it was at a different magnitude. So then when I'm looking at Malcolm's face, I'm looking at his face and I'm like, what? Like, what? So I wanted to see. And then when I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God. It ain't too much to make me say, oh my God, about myself, but I'm like, oh my God, you know. So I go to, you know, and then that's when it dawned on me, everybody needs to go outside. So I run inside and I go and I get, I'm on my iPad. I'm trying to go live. I'm trying to play the replay. And then, so I go back out and I'm trying to show everybody, and it's just like the live is so choppy because they don't like technology. And then you could see the time shifts. You can see like the sky is just all these different colors, and you can see the time just changing right in front of your face. And all these different points right, and it was just cutting out, and I'm repeating myself, and I'm saying things, and it's like I'm thinking things, and the thought comes in, and then the words come in, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I try to go live, I try to repost the videos, and I reposted what I could repost. And then I said, I'm just going to say fuck it until I go live. So we're on live, we're talking and everything. And it was kind of strange because Stacy disappeared out of her box. And we was like, that's weird, like that's weird. Like, how the hell did that happen? And I'm like, I could literally see my hand through your box type shit. Like, what the fuck? So we were talking about that. And then Denise, which is the same Denise that, you know, I accidentally called, which I know now I need to intentionally call her when all the messages were going to her the other day. She was in the box, and Malcolm was out somewhere in the house, and I was in here in the room. And he comes to show me his phone, and he's like, look, Denise's box is gone too. And I'm like, Denise? And she's like, I'm like, your box is gone. And when I took the phone and put it over to show them, then all of these motherfucking paradigms started opening. You could see all the dimensions stacked on top of each other, just like going, like, it was never ending, and we didn't know what was going on, and I closed out of it. And I mean, my frequency was so high that every sound that was there, it just bounced off of me until it just echoed, 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 echoed. And then I got out of the live and I was showing them the picture of 417, the screenshot that it was alive. And then all of the echoing and everything started all over again. And then, because the frequency from the screenshot itself was just so high that it was just like, I closed out of that, and then it just kept going. And I'm like, I can't make it stop, y'all. I know what the fuck is going on. What the fuck is going on? So we started experimenting with that and seeing what it was and why it was. And then I started noticing that people were purging and all of this stuff because of the frequencies. And I had to get an understanding because I know that we did the first trials we did, me, Mary, and Malcolm, and the last one was when I put my 333 in. And when I did, it just gave a whole different dynamic to it. And my voice came back, but it came back in my truly authentic fifth dimensional voice. And I instantly recognized it. And I'm like, that's me, you know. But when it came back, the frequencies were so high that people started instantly purging. Like, it was abrasive, it was intrusive, I didn't know because I was just like, you know, and I had to learn that the reason that was is because anything that I did not let go of, it would intensify it, and the energies would get mingled with the positive and the negative at the same time, and it would cause a and whoever it reached, it would cause an instant purging. It would grab onto the negative part of them and hold on to it because it was reciprocity. And it would grab onto the negative and hold on to it, and then the positive would come and just wash it away, and get it clean. And it was kind of evasive. So I had to learn how to be able to send the frequencies through in a calm manner. So I had to practice calm and at the same time do observation and allow my 3D avatar to actually live life, which that became very crunching and difficult because the more people wanted to know and the more I explained, I spent explaining my life than actually living it. And it wasn't loathsome, but it was, it became kind of distant and lonely because even though people are desperately trying to understand, they really didn't. And the more you try to explain it to them, the more confounded they got. And it's like, I can't explain me, but I can explain to you how I was able to see me for myself. And I said, I think I can explain it pretty well. Now, as far as the third eye activation, that was, people caught on to that with no problem. But then they got stuck on the seeing rather than the feeling and the reciprocation and how energies affect you and vice versa, which is quantum entanglement and how that related to everything. And it just became like a barrier to be able to explain or tell my story because you don't understand the dynamics of what the story entails. So that rendered me having the burden of giving the classes, which it wasn't a burden because, when you teach a class, you literally get the reward of seeing this person from where they were to where they get to once they pass that course. And that's the rewarding part. But what was burdensome to me was the fact that it was so many people out there that knew exactly what I know, and they were gatekeeping and holding the information. That just burned my buns, and that's just something that's gonna have to be knocked down. So I mean, I've been on so many different timelines, and I see so many things, and it's like I know how to tap into certain things. But at the same time, you have to have respect for nature and let natural selection and natural processes occur. You got to be careful not to impede or impose on nature and what is naturally occurring because that is what your mission is, to let nature be nature. And though you have to go through these wormholes of technology, you still can't disrupt nature. So it's like a hairline of in this carnal sense, it's a hairline that you got to go through, like a camel going through a needle of an eye of a needle, or whatever they say. You know what I'm saying? Those parables. It is it's straight and narrow road, but it seems that way at first because you have to horn in on your focus. And once you horn in on your focus and get through that door, everything opens up. The whole universe and beyond opens up to you, and you're able to see everything, and you're able to examine everything, and not in a rushed manner. And like you could be gone for fucking 1,000 fucking years and come back, and it's like 10 minutes later. And you'd be like tired than a motherfucker. You done did all this shit, and be like, why are you so tired? But it's just like the more I understood and the more I saw, I started seeing the effects of what was being done on a third dimensional level, and how our brains as a society became smaller because of white matter decay, which is basically essentially what they are trying to build at CERN so that they can keep you from materializing into this world but into their world. That is my theory. Um, but understanding how the universe actually works is, I guess, the key to understanding everything. Um, they can say 42 principles of Mayat, but after encompassing the essence of Mayat, those principles were principles that Mayat stood on based on principles that were instilled upon her, which everything always goes back to the law of one, the law of unity. And so, anyway, when the star fell, there was a great star that fell, and the star fell onto Kai, right onto Kai, which was an area in the infinite lands. So, because it was so dense, it had to be contained so that it would not spread throughout the cosmos. And in containing it, um, we noticed the behaviors of the avatars or the ants. And it's like when in unity, you can do anything. When separated, everything comes individually more difficult. But artificial intelligence played a major role because if you draw a circle around this thing, these avatars, they wouldn't leave. Even if they could, they would not leave. But if they were in nature and they had to climb over, it was no problem. So what is the, it's because when you draw a circle, those frequencies connect and they keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. That's why when people be doing the little scary movies and shit and they draw a pentagram on the ground and then they take a circle and put around it of salt barrier. So it's pretty much the same thing. And I guess that would be the um, entryway to, uh, you can call it alchemy or magic or, you know, creating protective spells or, you know, but it basically all that is, you know, creating boundaries on a spiritual sense. All that is um, just taking your frequencies and outlining the parameters. You know what I'm saying? And when they say, oh, well, you got to use this herb or that herb, all of this, it's just certain herbs put off certain frequencies. And uh, if you combine certain herbs, they not only put off um, a higher photonic ray, which means even of the deafest they could see. If you're deaf, you can see, especially when your frequencies are high, you'll be able to see past that spectrum and it tells you don't cross this barrier. So is just that simple. And they give it so many different definitions and meanings and all of these wild imaginations building up. Um, but that's all it is. And they kind of like they don't put in the textbooks what's common. They put fanciful things in there, fabulous things actually, to convince you that what you're experiencing means something totally different. But they tell you, and they create words and put them in the dictionary, and then the dictionary is revised, and so forth and etc. So, um, basically, you know, to sum it up, all the unlocking of the DNA and all of this shit that they're talking about as far as ascending, I mean, you can put it in any metaphysics, spiritual, biological, genetically, cosmetically, or cosmetology. I meant cosmology, astrology, physiology, uh, mesmerology. I mean, any kind of ology and any kind of schisms and isms. It all boils down to, as these frequencies come in, um, the vibrations will invoke certain parts of you to start to vibrate. And that's all ascension is. And as it vibrates, it changes the algorithm of your vibrations, and it simultaneously connects to other systems in your body. So once one jump starts, which the first thing to jump start would be the eye, and what the eye does, it not only does and that's why they call it the all-seeing eye. And you're able to literally look within your own body and see all of the mechanisms, the control panels, and you're able to set your dials and how you want things to go. And then boom, you're off. You're like, just like you're in your spiritual macabre, you're in your carnal macabre too. It's like you're inside of a big ass robot, and you're this big and you're controlling that motherfucker. Well, up here, you're the big ass motherfucker and you're controlling this itty bitty ant. It's the same thing, but it's on different paradigms. So it's just like a, exact opposite, like dark yin yang. The thing of it is to find balance within that and um, do no harm in what you're doing. Unfortunately, in the timeline of 1994, which again, that was over 4,000 years ago, it was a big ass battle up here, like how y'all have political debates. It's something like that, but it's not a political debate. There's no politics here. But it was basically people were noticing that their avatars were moving around on their own, and kind of how like y'all get a doll baby and it's a scary doll baby because it's one place one time and then, like that. So that's what was going on the 5th. It was only a matter of time before it would be in a mass, what you would call a mass awakening, that they were self-driven. Okay, so it's a lot of motherfuckers up here didn't like that because then they couldn't do what the fuck they wanted to do. And they knew that the only way that they could contain the situation was to continuously pump lithium through to maintain the levels. So to stay in a simulation so that you would always be their carnal vehicle to transport through. The only thing is, once you raise your frequency if it's so high and you are self-aware, then you lock the portal door so that they can't enter anymore, and they can only come in with your permission. You only grant them permission. The other thing is, nobody can use nobody else's avatar. That goes against the cosmic laws. You have to be in your own vehicle. Now, once you're in your own vehicle, your carnal self has to take the back seat while you're driving. You know what I'm saying? But agreed upon by these motherfuckers up here that don't really understand that shit of what humanity is really about. they decided that they wanted to, basically kick the door in or lure you out so that they could come in. And they went with the lure method. So they glam you and lure you and tell you all these false dates so that you can come out of yourself. Instead of going within, you come out of yourself. And once you come out of that hedge of protection, they are able to just swoop down and take you over. You in the back seat now. You see what I'm saying? And with that possession, it's very difficult to like help you because you the one got to climb over that seat and kick their ass out, or put them in the back seat and bind them up until you're able to, learn about that particular part of yourself, because it's only you that can enter you, different versions of you. So that's what they use. And once they lure you, they take the weakest version of you to try to lure you out so that they can entrap you into their little mechanism. You know what I'm saying? And then, as fanciful as it seems, there's so many documentations in the government archives and all of this. And then they put the publications right in front of your face. Like when they say particle accelerator, that's you. The particle is you. You feel what I'm saying? And they're accelerating by accelerating more chaos into this third dimensional realm. They're inserting more simulations of chaos than they are inserting simulations of peace and tranquility. And that is a false balance. So, in order to even get going, we got to correct that false balance. And that balance was webbed in it's in a web of deception. You feel what I'm saying? And we've been conditioned to believe that web of deception or veil of deception rather than believing the truth. So that veil had to go. I mean, it had to go. And now people are being able to not only understand that you're not seeing past the veil, that the veil doesn't exist. It's just that your mindset has to catch up. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a overnight process. It is not a um, process where something will happen instantly.
Oh,
It could happen. Certain things come to you quite naturally because you've been doing it. You just was unaware of what that was. And some things you never knew that you even had the ability to do. So everything comes in waves. And being able to hold your frequency, knowing that you are a light bringer. You're supposed to disseminate the light so that the frequency can stay balanced as it transport through. It's not just, oh, we're going to come raise the frequency of Kai, and we come and we say boom, and then all of everything just lights up. No, because then it's like popcorn in a microwave. And that's not what we want. And you have people out there that they're still in the web of deception but have those frequencies. So what it looks like is laser beams, and what they're calling it now is direct energy weapon, because it is a weapon if it's not properly contained and disseminated. Those are supposed to be frequencies of light that will bring awareness, but instead it is causing chaos. And that is what they're doing. And in order to do that, they have to have control of the lithium. You feel what I'm saying? And they've been like here and there moving lithium all over in small increments so that you're unaware. But now all of those areas have been eradicated. They only have a couple other places. So they decide they want to go to the main place, and they try to secure that main place, which is Black Mountain, where the explosion happened in the first place. So they go to Black Mountain to collect their deposits. And you got to understand that majority of the people in those mountains are Democratic. but there are the people that are all the way in the mountains, in the mountains, and they're not. And a lot of them don't even identify with one political party or the other because it's not pertaining to them. They don't give a fuck. Like, they don't fuck with the government. And if they did fuck with the government, they would lean towards Trump more so than anybody else because, it's just basically that's the way it go. And so these people, and I'm just going to say theory, but there's too much information out there now. These people, mainly this person who is in a very high ranking position or whatever, her husband owns majority of the shares of the company that's doing all of this to obtain, and she's the one responsible for signing the permits for this project to go through. And they're not fucking around trying to get lithium for cars. As I said, there are so many lithium deposits as far as batteries. There are so many like junkyards that are full of never been driven lithium operated vehicles. Like nobody had the money to purchase lithium vehicles like that, the battery, because lithium is not what charges the car. It's what charges the battery, right? So imagine what it would do for us. It charges our psychokinetic abilities. And if we are aware of that, when that lithium comes through, like that's why they try to make you go to sleep. Again, lithium is a mood enhancer. Whatever mood you're in, when that shit hits you, if you're tired, if you're exhausted, that shit gonna hit you and you're gonna sleep like you ain't never slept before. If you are charged and it hits you, you're gonna stay charged. So they were sending those waves along with the lithium they were putting in the air. And when they connect, and normally they would send the waves around 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. Every day, no matter what area you were in, it would hit your time zone at that time. But then they would hold the buzzer over it, and from 12 to 5 would be the most intense times, and that's the time that I went to midnight mass, and I was trying to keep everybody awake. And it's been kind of difficult because now I'm trying to do midnight mass to keep everybody awake, but I can't stay awake because I'm up during the days most of the time, trying to disseminate more information and also give more examples of the things that are going on. And I'm studying, documenting my journey and what I was going through and essentially what I'm seeing other people go through as they ascend. So if I'm seeing myself go through it and then I'm seeing other people going through it, and then I'm looking back on other timelines and seeing how far back, and so far I've reached 2004, which was 20 years ago, that I had already been ascended. It's just I did not know. So the more I go back, it's like you've always been ascendant, but it was the spell that kept us in a disarray. And it's just like now that I know how, when, what, how, where, who, I know all the players on the board game, and there are two outcomes. There are only two outcomes. One outcome is they create this new paradigm of a matrix, or we ascend to the fifth, which is a different simulation. Let's get that clear. The simulation is the program, the matrix is the prison within the program. So they're trying to create another matrix to entrap us in a whole new matrix. And we're trying to allow nature to be nature and let you grow as you need to evolve on your own. So in the timeline of 1994, it got hot and heavy. And there were some items that were stolen from me and was used to change the algorithms and the timelines and the programs so that they can continue to lose your energy. Okay. And I was in a cryostasis um, state for a while, a long while, until I was able to regain my ability to vibrate. And it's just basically, I had to wake up. Um, and as I woke up and gained more clarity, it's just like now I see how I can affect everything in this paradigm I created. And the crazy part about it is, I don't understand how people call each other gods, you know, like just like I say, hey, goddess, how you doing today? Well, you literally need to mean that because this whole different person, all in itself, they have their own reality. And though they're looking at your reality, if you keep consistently showing them that they have their own reality, they'll start to go within and understand that they are who they are. Because I am who I am. I'm not a God. I'm not God. And if you look at it on a godlike source, am I source on my paradigm in my vortex? I am. And that is what quantum entanglement is. It's just like you're coming into my universe. Though you have your own, people who don't know that they have their own come and sit, and then they become a part of my world. And they come under my, what I call wings of refuge. And then it becomes my obligation to show them their houses, which house you hail from, and but I can't do it. I can't tell you anything. It's just like taking a test. I can't give you the answers, but I can help you jog your memory, you know. And even when I come and blatantly tell you everything, it's still all going to be based on how you perceive and how you rationalize, which leads into another thing of rationalization and what that actually means, and feeling frequencies and emotions versus spirits and how they all connect. We'll get into all of that. Meanwhile, the most important thing now is to notify the people in Florida that they need to get themselves prepared and start making self preparedness programs and organize some kind of rescue effort for themselves. Void if the government never comes. I don't want to hear that shit about y'all fussing about, oh, we don't need a government, but yet you keep running to the fucking government, which makes absolutely no sense to me. You know, and you have your own collective saying, here we have food, we have water, we have shelter, and you ignore the fuck out of the American people itself and keep running to the fucking government. This is like the wildest shit that I've ever encountered, but it's in real time and it's consistently all day, every day. So it made me go to my favorite question: why? And it always leads back to the final answer: the lithium. So y'all, that is going to be my time for now. I'm going to, it is 10 o'clock. I am going to go and get these greens going. Malcolm just pulled some more smoked chicken off. So now I'm able to take that smoked chicken that has already cooled and pull the chicken from the bones and use that bones, them good old smoky bones, to smoke uh, and make a nice broth for my greens. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. I'll keep you updated on that progress, but my eyes, the energy is kind of wonky right now, and I'm getting ready to start harnessing energy. My light bill high enough, so I need to shut it down and take a nap for about a half an hour and then get to work. But I am gonna, as soon as this processes, I'm gonna start adding it to TikTok. And like I said, I have to break it down. So it'll be a series, and this, I guess, is the introduction of wisdom. Look at, you see how my eyes starting to get dark. You know, that's how I know that my energy is getting low. Um, but it'll build right back up. So I'm not really concerned. You just have to know how to power down and power back up. It's just like a computer, because that's what we are. We're computers. Um, and that's kind of like a hard thing for a lot of people to get. Like, we are computers, and we are powered by the essence of our true selves. So that is me. That is Wanakai. That is wisdom. That is Sophia. That is I am that I am. So that's my introduction. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned it or if it cut out. I am an Indigo 3. That is the type of avatar that I am, and I hailed from the orphan uh, family. So I have double diamond consciousness, and I hold 30, well, it depends on what um, dimension I'm on, but I hold 33 consciousness. That's why my number is 33. And on this eighth dimension, I hold 30. That's why I always put 3.0. So a lot of people call it the Luja, but it's good and it's bad if you don't keep it balanced. So for the people who are ascending, I mean, you may hail from a different constellation, you may hail from a different cosmic star seed, but at the end of the day, we are all a collective. We are a community of many, and we're literally all the same representation and essences of one. And we'll get into all of that, and then we'll disseminate the difference between religion and spirituality, and the common things that everybody be debating over, when it's actually no debate, because it's technically the same thing, but it's different expressions of the same thing. So with that being said, that is my time. I greatly appreciate everybody for coming in. Thank you, Wackadoodle family. I mean, y'all are like the most amazing people that I've ever met in my entire life. I mean, y'all just do not fucking know. And yeah, so I'll see y'all over in TikTok land, and we can like get in the box and discuss per the frequency level. So I'm gonna be back online probably uh, at midnight. I'm sorry, I got to take a nap. But at midnight, I'm going to be back online. I may come back on before then, but my main goal right now is to get a 30-minute power nap and then get started with those greens. And that way I can, because there's no mail running tomorrow, but I got to get the greens processed and get them to start cooking. So I'm going to have a few stock pots going. And then that way I can cool them, tomorrow, and get them packaged and everything. So Monday morning it'll go out. So if y'all want some of these good old greens and this chicken salad and some of this bread that I'm sending out to Tam, And I gotta send you some of them cookies, girl. Uh, Cause somebody else besides Denise gotta taste them cookies and know that they the truth. And anyway, so we're gonna be sending out whatever, and the same rules apply. All you have to do is email me your what you want, and then when I get to the post office, you have to set a time. I let everybody know when I'm going to the post office and what I have on hand. And okay, I want it. Now, the deadline is the deadline, which the deadline will be tomorrow night. I'm going to say 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you ain't tell me that you want it and I got your address and all that stuff to send it to you, then you just going to have to wait. And so, with that being said, once I get everybody's information or whatever, I start shipping it. I pay the shipping, you reimburse the shipping, and you want to give a donation to keep this thing going so that everybody be able to eat good and help the cause, then that's what you do. You feel what I'm saying? And but again, there is a process to this thing because I can't sit at the post office for 4 hours trying to get shit out. And I got to make sure that what I'm getting out has the highest quality, that I can get it to people because this is going to be for a while. Here in the future, this is how we're going to be able to eat and not have to eat that poison. So, agape and light, y'all. Agape is life. Thank y'all for coming in, and I'll see y'all on the flip side.